Hello, strong people. It is week 8, day 4 of official Strongman Games prep. We're almost done with this prep. That house is cool. So, event day. We're going down to Area 56 again. I gotta drop off some t-shirts. I didn't even tell you guys. I don't know if any of you would have ordered necessarily, but you know, I probably should have mentioned it that we were selling t-shirts for this for OSG. Just kind of a fun thing. I didn't even really think about, actually putting it out there for you guys. I just didn't, for whatever reason, it never really crossed my mind. Well, it might have, but I was probably like, maybe they probably don't want it. Because I didn't really push them that hard. It was just like friends, put it on my Instagram story a couple times. And whoever, got out to me, got out to me. So, to those that did buy shirts, thank you. I really appreciate it. They're pretty much all done. We just got to get them delivered now. So, and let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, it's event day. So I got sandbag toss, an 8-second max on yoke. So thank God, no heavy yoke. I say thank God, but I'm very, very excited for next week. Next week I have a 1,000-pound run, comp weight. So I'm excited for that. Because last time I touched 1,000 was for the online qualifier, and I barely made it 20 feet with that. Now, granted, I didn't prep for that at all. I did the regional, not OSG regional. I did that too, but I did Battle at the Bridge regional, Strongman Corp, in the weeks before that. So I hadn't touched a heavy yoke, anything above 720 or so since like March. So to just hop right in, at least for me. I know there's some freaks out there that can just hop under 1,000 pounds and go. I've learned I am not that person. So no build up or anything. 1,000, I think it was like 1,012 or something for 50 or 20 feet. I'm not mad about it. I mean, I was at the time because I expect a lot out of myself when it comes to that stuff. But now we get to do it, full prep. I think a better yoke prep. I think I have a better understanding of what I need to do. We're going to give it a run. I'm not expecting like blistering speed or anything, but I don't want it to be slow. I don't want any drops. Because I don't even think when I did the Pro-Am in March that I actually did a full 1,000-pound run and comp. The first time I touched 1,000 pounds was in that competition, I think. So I could be wrong about that. I have to look back to know for sure, but today we don't have to worry about that. Just an 8-second max. I'm guessing 8 seconds is pretty fast. 700 maybe. 800 if I'm feeling really good. We'll see though. And then more sandbag sled medley. I think I have comp weight this week. If not, very close. I could be wrong about that. I'll have to make sure. And then I have stones. I know they're supposed to be like speed runs, like triples, 3 speed runs. But me and my coach did talk last week, and we're like, let's push the heavy stone back to the week after. So I'm going to try to hit a really heavy stone today. I don't know what that'll be necessarily, but we'll figure that out together. The big tarp on the road. But I may do things out of order. I don't like doing stones out of order because you get tacky and junk all over you. It just makes a mess. But we'll see. I want to do stones with my buddy who's coming today. This is his home gym. This is where he trains all the time. And he is the best stone loader I know, probably. It doesn't make any sense, honestly. Like, he hasn't quite loaded the 520 pound. They have a 520 pound stone down here. He has not quite loaded it. He's been very close a couple times. But the crazy thing is how easily he is able to lap the 520. It doesn't make any sense. Lapping the 520 stone, it looks like he's just picking up a 300 pound stone. It's insane how easy it is. I don't understand it because, watching the strongest man on earth, like Thor, picking up a 550 stone, it looks difficult for him. And I'm pretty sure it's a smaller diameter stone Andy's Thor, like the king of the stones at one point. And it just doesn't make sense how easily this dude, my buddy, can pick up a 520-pound stone. So I might be able to learn something from him. It's hard to tell. I want to try to learn something from him for stones, but at the same time, when you're so good at something, and maybe he's that good naturally at it, I don't really know. Like, I've known him for a long time, but he always seemed to be pretty good at stones. So I don't know if he's just naturally gifted at stones, or if he's, trained it really well and gotten really good at it, and I just didn't know him then. But there's something to do with looking, for tips on someone. Like, Mitch Hooper talks about this a lot. Like, if someone is naturally good at something, they probably are not the best person to get tips from, because they've never had to learn how to do anything on their own. It's just they've been good at it naturally. The people who work for it and try to get really good at something, those are probably the people to look at more when it comes to getting tips or tricks from people. The people who have used those exact tips and tricks to get better and turn a weakness into a strength, I prefer to get stuff from. That doesn't mean that you can't get tips from people that are just really good at something naturally, but I just think if I was naturally good at, I don't even know what to think. Like, there's some things I do in Strongman I don't really think about all that much. Like my log clean, and I don't really think too much about it. I used to a lot, but finally I just said, and started doing it. Like my speed when I carry stuff, I didn't really have to learn for that. I've just always been fairly quick under heavy loads, heavier loads. I'm trying to think what else. You get my point though. So I may end up doing stones out of order just because I want to train with him. And he's coming to do just stones specifically, I think. So, yeah, I think I'm going to call the video there. And also, I've been very awful with getting my videos out on time. I end up bulk editing and uploading them all at the end of the week. So I meant to do them yesterday. Didn't happen. Also, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. It was not very entertaining. I honestly expected more from Tyson. I know he's 58, but I just don't think his legs were there. His mobility was all off. He didn't even throw a right hand that I saw. Maybe he was hurting. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I think, I think it's just an age thing. I just think he's too old at this point, which was not fun to watch. But I don't know. It was okay. It was just okay. Alright, I'm going to end the video here, or in this clip here. We'll get some training clips, hopefully, and then we'll check in on the way back home. I'm going to wait a little bit longer and then nibble on this banana nut muffin over here. Got to get those extra carbs.
There you go. Keep that pace. Go, keep driving.
Alright. Well, that was a session. I'm very surprised all the way around. Sandbags were whatever. Like, I can throw a 45 bag over, no problem. You know, more than I'd ever need to in a show, most likely. Unless it's like throws in a minute or something, then I'd probably, you know, I'd struggle with that. But sandbags are fine. They're sandbags. Yoke was very good. It was an 8-second max. I got up to 7:35. I think it was 7:35. Pretty sure 7:35, which was like right at 7 or 8. Called it there. It didn't feel good. Like, picking it up did not feel good. But I was moving fast. I'm very happy with that. So moved on. Went to, is it a comp weight run? What's my comp weight? Is it for sandbag medley, sandbag sled push? Is it 325, 350? Or is it 300, 350? I don't know. Either way, I did 300, 350, and then a heavier sled push. Probably should have gone heavier looking back at it, but it is what it is. 300, that bag is so floppy. It's tough to pick. I had to like physically grab the bag itself and like yank it up to my lap. 350 was better. I think I could definitely go faster on the bags. In my mind, the whole run felt very slow. The picks felt slow. Everything felt kind of slow. So, but when I was all done with it and I saw my time, I was like, okay, that's respectable. It's not great, but it felt slow, so that tells me, and then watching it back, I was like, I could definitely speed up my picks. I could speed up that in a lot of different ways. I don't feel the need to pace myself in that event. I feel the need, like, I can go all out for that whole time, which, that's great. So I could definitely shave, you know, I could get under 40. I think I could definitely get under 40 seconds for that. And I think that'll be a good time. They had a very similar event last year, but they were wearing backpacks for that event. So 5 guys got under 40 seconds last year. Or 40 seconds, 40 seconds? One guy got under 40, the rest were under 45, I think. Like 5 were under 45, that might be what I'm thinking of. But there were 5 guys either right at 40 or under 45. So, to me, taking off the backpack, I think they're going to shave, 10 seconds off or so. Because you can just move better without the backpack on. Which, by the way, I just think that's such a dumb idea for a strongman event. I really do. I get that we want to try to change things up and keep it fresh, but that's no way to do it, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. If it's in a show, a big show, I'll do it. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do that event. I'll do it. I won't like it, but I'll do it. And then, so that went very well. And then it was stone time. Took a good break in between, because putting all the plates back and then putting the sandbags back, that's exhausting. I hate that. That's more exhausting than anything else in the gym. Putting stuff back. But, whatever. Got ready for stones. Did the 310. Felt fine. 340. My coach told me to do something a little bit different on the 340. So, to really get my positioning down, put my window up so it doesn't sound weird. So, rather than just stand over the stone, lean down and grab it, he wanted me to kind of get my arms set to where they needed to be, arms, hands, and then step into it. Almost like I'm strapping into a deadlift and then moving my legs into place. And when I did that on the 340, or the 380, one or the other, something kind of clicked. I felt my arms connect with the stone better. And I was like, what's that all about? So I did it, and it hugged my forearms, which is something I've not realized before. So what I realized was I've been picking stones the same way I've been picking a sandbag. So I was trying to row the stone into my lap, and when I'm peeling my forearms off because I'm bending my arms in. My forearms are coming off of the stone, and I was just pulling with my hands, which wasn't working, obviously, that well. So, stones are so much thicker. It's a different thing than a sandbag. Generally speaking, you're picking up something off the floor, so you're using a lot of the same muscles, but as far as how you grab it, very different. And I was not treating them differently. So, when I figured out that I was just basically just not doing it correctly, or the most efficient way, whatever you want to say, optimal, if you want to use the fancy word, I felt my forearms connect, and I was like, I feel connected to the stone. That's just the only way I could describe it. So I did 340, no problem, 380, no problem. And I was like, all right, let's hit a PR. So I rolled the 415 over, and it flew. 415, that is a 35 pound PR. So that went well enough. I was like, I gotta go up. Now, the 415 was so good, I had zero doubts going into the 465. I didn't even care that it was 22 inches. Now, to put into perspective, I've loaded a 380 stone before. I've never even been able to I've never picked anything above a 480 stone or 380 stone. I've also never been able to pick a 22 inch stone that weighed more than 340. There's a stone at 580 barbell that's 380. It's 22 inches in diameter. I've never been able to even pick the stone. So nothing here adds up to me being able to move the 465. It's way bigger than anything I've done before. It's way heavier than anything I've done before. But going into it, I had zero fear, zero doubt that I was gonna, smoke it. Because there's that, like, my buddy was down there, he was training, he didn't get the 520, but it's that competition, like, I saw him do it, I'm gonna do that, I can do that. And it's all friendly, but it's at the same time, like, I like to compete, so in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna beat you. I didn't, because I got the 465 to my lap. It was a little challenging, but, like, getting it there, I was like, okay, I did the hardest part, let's finish this. Sat there for a little bit longer than I probably should have, but it felt fine. I didn't feel the need to rush. So I went for it, got the pop out of the hole, flew up, and then I get to the triple extension, and my freaking right arm slides off, tacky slides. Hit the platform, fall back. It was like, oh my god. I knocked the wind out of myself a little bit too. I don't know exactly what happened, or if I cramped or knocked the wind out, whatever it was. Something didn't quite feel right. I was fine 2 minutes later, but I wasn't going to try again. So I know it's there. The way that moved, absolutely there. The triple extension felt fine. The weight felt fine. It just hurts my soul to fail it like that. Where it's not a technical issue, where it's not a strength issue, where it's just a tacky sliding issue. That is going to haunt me. That's like when I pulled 800 pounds and the plates fell off. Like, you have it, but, like, you didn't get it. So, all in all, wins all around today. So, let's hope for one more week of wins. A deload week, a little bit of a lighter week. And then we'll get into it. Or we'll get into the show and try to do some winning there. I needed that today. That was a big one. So, that's what I'm going to call it. Until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.